Welcome to aminacademy.com. In human anatomy and physiology, let us talk about pharynx. Pharynx, that is the throat, is a muscular tube, the middle of your neck. It helps you to breathe and digest food. Many medical issues can affect your pharynx, from a common cold or to cancer. You can protect your pharynx by not smoking and avoiding infections. What is the pharynx? Your pharynx, throat, is a multitasking muscular funnel that helps you breathe and direct food and liquids to your digestive system. You can keep your pharynx healthy by quitting smoking and protecting yourself from infections. What is the function? In general, it supports your respiratory and digestive system, specifically your pharynx. Routes air coming in your nose and mouth down to your larynx, voice box, which in turn moves air to your trachea and lungs. Delivers food and liquid to your esophagus, which sends them onto your stomach. More than that, your pharynx helps to make sure particles of food and liquids don't tumble into your trachea and your lungs. Where is the pharynx is located? Your pharynx is in the middle of your neck. It sits below the lower part of your skull and just above your esophagus and larynx. Now, let us discuss further detail about pharynx. The pharynx is divided for descriptive purpose into three parts, that is nasopharynx, oropharynx, and laryngopharynx. The nasopharynx is important in respiration. The oropharynx and laryngopharynx pharynx are passages common to both the respiratory and the digestive items, right? Digestive system. Food passes from the oral cavity into the pharynx, then to the esophagus below, with which it is continuous. The walls of the pharynx consist of three layers of tissue. The lining membrane, that is mucus, is stratified. Squamous epithelium continues with the lining of the mouth at one end and the esophagus at the other. Stratified epithelial tissues provides a lining well suited to the wear and tear of swallowing ingested food. The middle layer consists of connective tissues, which becomes thinner towards the lower end and contains blood and lymph vessels and nerves. The outer layer consists of a number of involuntary muscles that are involved in swallowing. When food reaches the pharynx, swallowing is no longer under voluntary control. Blood supply. The blood supply to the pharynx is by several branches of the facial arteries. Venous drainage is into the facial veins and the internal jugular veins. Nerve supply. This is from the pharyngeal plexus and consists of parasympathetic and sympathetic nerves. Parasympathetic supply is mainly by the glossopharyngeal and vagus nerves and sympathetic from the cervical ganglia. Now let us discuss further detail about pharynx. The pharynx is a muscular tube located behind the nose and mouth that connects the nasal and oral cavities to the larynx and esophagus. It is a shared passageway for both air and food, playing a crucial role in the respiratory and digestive system by routing air to the lungs and food to the stomach. The pharynx is divided into three regions, that's nasopharynx, oropharynx, and laryngopharynx. Pharynx. Structure: a funnel-shaped muscular tube that extends from the base of the skull to the level of the sixth cervical vertebra. Regions: nasopharynx, the uppermost part located behind the nasal cavity. It contains the openings of the esophageal tubes, which connects to the middle ear and the adenoids. Oropharynx, the middle sections located behind the oral cavity. It extends from the soft palate to the upper border of the epiglottis. Laryngopharynx, the lowest part situated behind the larynx. It leads to both esophagus, that is for food, and the larynx for air. Physiology: airway. It routes air from the nose and mouth to the larynx and trachea, leading to the lungs. Digestion: it receives food and liquid from the mouth and directs them to the esophagus and stomach. Swallowing, that is deglutition. During swallowing, the soft palate rises to block the nasal cavity, and the epiglottis folds over the larynx to prevent food from entering the airways. Vocalization: it plays a part in speech and can also equalize pressure in the middle ear through the utrachian tubes. Immune function: it houses lymphoid tissues such as the tonsils, which are part of the immune system. So far we discussed about in human anatomy and physiology about pharynx. If you have that, please subscribe our YouTube channel.